Good morning, it's Trixie. I hope you're all doing really well. I'm in the village that I live in today. Little walk, just a little one. And I've decided to go to the craft centre. We have a craft centre gallery which does workshops, and they have artists that work there and sell their work. They also have a gift shop and a cafe, so I'm going to take you along. I haven't been for a while actually, so it'll be nice. I'm going to show you. It's down this little alleyway. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to walk around the gardens and show you inside some of the actual art studios. So we have Anne Biggs, wildlife artist, here, and it does say do come in, so I may go in. I'm just going to show you some of her work. More studios this way. There's the gardens. I'm not sure if they're closed. They have a big sort of craft fair festival thing here every year as well. Doesn't look like the studios are open. Studio 4. Using wool from our own flock. They basically have their own studios and work in there. I'll tell you what my idea is. I'd love to get one of these studios and sit and make my Christmas crafts and have people come in. I don't know how much they cost, but there's different size ones, small ones and bigger ones. Come in and browse, but I think I've come and it's closed. There's another one round here. I would love to have one of these places. Art and framing. It's open on Saturdays. It's a shame because I wanted to go in and take you into these places. My idea would be to have a studio here with all my crafts, play Christmas music all day long, wear Christmas clothes, have sparkly lights and a Christmas tree, and people come in and buy my gifts. But obviously the expense of running one of these is probably a lot, so you'd have to sell quite a lot to be able to make enough profit, I think. But it would be beautiful to be able to have instead of having my craft shed, to have a studio. I might try and find out how much it costs. I'm going to just take you in now. So got a children's play corner with lots of books, dog friendly, tea room. Hello, it's Trixie. So I've just got back from the art gallery. It was nice. It's a shame that some of the artists weren't there, and I didn't get a chance to speak to anyone about how much it costs to hire one of those studios. My absolute dream. Anyway, I did at the back of the shop, I don't know if I filmed some of that, see a bookshelf, and all books were £1 each, and I sat and looked through them, and I brought some books back with me, so I'm going to show you. I don't know if any of you are into books like I am. I love old books, but the first book I've got is this one, which is Classic Roses. I wish that this was an old cover on it. I might actually cover the front to make it look vintage with some wrapping paper, but I bought it mainly because I absolutely love, it tells you about all different roses, but I love all the illustrations in it. And what I would do with books, and I might go and get one and show you, for our wedding, we got old books, you know, like this kind, proper old books. I just got a load of them, and I made photo albums out of them and put them on the tables and let people take them home with them. And I've always had the idea of continuing with that. You can make scrapbooks out of them, or you can make a photo album by just sticking, because I thought about that with this one, just sticking loads of photos in. It's just a really nice way of having like a photo album. I'll go and see if I can grab one. So I just went around car boot sales for our wedding and picked up lots of this kind of book and old shops that were getting rid of them, bought bundles for like pence. And I like the ones that are particularly old. This one is Tess of the D'Urbervilles. And I know you shouldn't demolish things like this because they are vintage. But what I would use that for is, I've got a few of them left actually. They didn't all get taken, so I'm going to show you them. But this is the kind of thing that I did for the wedding. You see this book was pretty old. And I put pictures on the front. Another chapter in a book, can't go back, but you can look, and there we are on every page, memories I'll always have. And this was our wedding. I put the wedding, and what I did was I just put quotes all the way throughout, little scraps, like there's my dad in there, scraps and pictures of family, lace, all throughout the book, beads, and everyone at the wedding, basically, I kind of like got photographs of the family and friends. A sister is a gift to the heart, a friend to the spirit, and a golden thread to the meaning of life. And I just filled all the books with, there's my husband, with pictures of family, friends, can you see? All the way through. Sometimes you will never know the value of the moment until it becomes a memory. Yeah, and they're all just full of quotes and pretty pictures. Children, the world's most precious creations. So that was one of them. Like I said, quite a lot of the books did get taken, but some of them didn't. So like I've got this one here, which is The Devil and the Other Tales. Maybe it's not about the happy endings, maybe it's about the story. So once again, pictures of everybody. And I forgot that I'd got these. 1,000,000 feelings, 1,000 thoughts, 100 memories, one person. That's my little boy child. When we face our deepest fears, our true courage comes out. That's my daughter's. And it literally has just got pictures. And sometimes we need to lose the small battles in order to win the war. And there's my boy child when he was little. And I just filled them with quotes, and by hook or by crook, I'll be last in your book. And you can see I've got charms in there. I've got lace, little pretty. So they're just, that was another one. I don't want to bore you too much, so I'm not going to like this one. Through the clouds, there's always sun. And these ones didn't get taken, so they've been on our bookshelf ever since. I forgot that I had them. This one's extra full. Memories of just people and things. I will always find you. Music is the heart and soul of everything. I mean, this is just an idea of what you can do. Memories live with us forever. It's just an idea of what you can do with books. And that one, you can see it's all very old. And I just put a bit of lace around it to hold it together. So these are lovely gifts that you can do, people. Just fill them with photos, get quotes off the internet, and stick away using lace and beads and bows and all sorts. So I kind of picked up a couple of books thinking, there's another one here, Time Flies Out but Memories Last Forever. Yeah, and you can see I've just stuck all over them, and loads of them did get taken. They were great on the table for decoration as well. Together we make family. Kind, caring, sweet, funny, clever. Just lots of pictures. Nothing can break the bond of siblings. A friend is someone who knows everything about your life but still loves you. You can see, and I filled it with lace, and I want our story to start with once upon a time and to end with happily ever after. There's me. Yeah, so this is something you can do with old books, and what a lovely gift to give someone if you put photographs in. You could even put like anything you like in them. But so I'm glad I could show you those. So I was kind of like, I'm always on the lookout for this kind of book. There wasn't really any there, but what I have found, I'm going to show you now. So yeah, I'm kind of wanting to cover the front of this to make it a bit like that. And I'm not sure whether, because this isn't a real vintage book, but I loved all the floral pictures in it. So I will either use all the pictures or I will make that into some sort of scrapbook. It's just a very cute book. The next book I picked up was for my grandchildren. It's an Osborne book, Peep Inside Nighttime, and it's one of the ones with all the flaps in, and they love these kind of books. So I got that for them. And then I also found a Treasure Cove story, Walt Disney Mary Poppins. And I had these books when I was a kid, but look at the illustrations on it. So if I don't use it for the illustrations, I will give it to Finn and Lola, but I wouldn't want them to break it. They're not great at looking after their books. This was original Mary Poppins stories. When was this one printed? This one was printed in 2018, by the looks of it. Anyway, this is a Mary Poppins. I can read that to them. Then I picked up this, which is the Kitchen Revolution. I thought it was quite a modern book, and I've bought it for my daughter because she's got a house recently. Change the way you cook and eat forever and save time, effort, money and food. And it's basically full of, it does have like, what do you call it? January, February, March, April, May, weekly, telling you what you can shop for, gives you a weekly budget, different ideas for meals, Mexican beans, roast Caribbean pork, baked eggs with asparagus, baked omelettes, pork chops, Chinese pork dumplings, Spanish masaca honey cake, loads of cakes and stuff, rich beef stew. And like, so for March, it tells you week 1, week 2. And I just thought it was a really good book, but I think ideas for recipes as well. And it's quite a modern looking, so this is quite an aesthetic piece for my daughter to have on her bookshelf or on a shelf in the kitchen, and it might give her some ideas. So I did give it a clean because it was a bit dusty. Excuse me 1 second. Postman. Right, so that was that one. The next one I picked up was this. It says The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, William Shearer. I love the book. It has actually got that on it. Now, we have, as you know, we're into reenactments, so we know quite a lot about the history of World War II. And one of our members, younger members, we're an RAF reenactment group, but he also portrays Germans during World War II, and there are some German groups, and it's very controversial because people don't like to see the German groups. But obviously, if we're portraying history, we can't have a battle and we can't have history without having the Germans and what happened with, you know, sort of Nazis and what have you. And at the end of the day, these people that do the reenactment are lovely, lovely people, and they just know all the history. And if we're trying to portray history to people, you can't tell a story without telling both sides. So this young boy in our group is very knowledgeable, actually. And I just thought this might be a book that he likes, because it literally history of Nazi Germany, which I think is very interesting, because there was two sides. We were unkind, they were unkind, and that's what the war was about. And I'm sure there was lots of people growing up in Germany that felt exactly the same as we did, and didn't want to be ruled and kind of dictated to, but had to live in their country under those circumstances, which must have been very hard. But I think it is a really interesting thing. This book was actually printed in 1973. I just think I might actually even read this, but I'm going to give this for Christmas. Book 1, The Rise of Adolf Hitler, and Book 2, Triumph and Consolidation. Book 3 is The Road to War. So it contains all of those in this, and I think it's going to be really interesting. It says in here, I've often felt a bitter sorrow at the thought of the German people, which is so estimable in the individual and so wretched in the generality. Hitler was the fate of Germany, and this fate could not be stayed. Field Marshal Walter von Brandschen, Commander-in-Chief of the German Army, 1938 to 41. 1,000 years will pass and the guilt of Germany will not be erased. I'm going to read this because I think I will learn a lot and find out quite a lot. So yeah, I think it's a really interesting book. I really think that he's going to really like this book. So I was really pleased to find that. The next book I found was the Times Atlas, Second World War. It's massive. Now, I don't like these covers on them. It says the defining account of the greatest conflict in world history. Over 600 maps, diagrams and illustrations create a complete and dynamic picture of World War II. Anyway, so what I will do is I will take the dust cover off, because it leaves you with a lovely book for display. But I haven't bought it just for display. It's actually really intriguing. There is maps galore in this book, and there's a timetable. So I need to learn more history. The occupation of Germany from 1945, it says here. 1943 to 44, Battle of Atlantic, Italy, air war in Europe, 1941 to 43, Stalingrad, Battle of Atlantic, clandestine war, North Africa, the Pacific, Moscow, Africa, France, Scandinavia, Europe. I'm going to take you off and show you. I'm going to enjoy learning. You can see, I'm just going to show you it. So the history in this book, November 1942 to February 43, and it's all the maps, and it tells you October 1942 saw the Allies come with measurable distance of defeat in the struggle for control of the Southwest Pacific. So there's so much facts in here. I must confess I do not know enough. So I'm hoping to learn a bit from this book, and I think it will teach me a lot. Philippines, France and Belgium. It's colour. Abbreviations. The following abbreviations were used in conjunction with the symbols. So the times, it's telling me what all the different symbols mean. Occupation of Germany. Yeah, I just think this is going to be an absolutely amazing thing to learn some history from. And I think the fact that I've taken that cover off makes it look much better. And the next book that I got had this cover on it. Inventory Weapons of World War II. Now, my boy child and my husband are both very into the weapons. We do battle reenactments, so they do have some, what do you call them? Replica weapons, basically. We've got replica ones of these. Anyway, so I took the dust cover off because, once again, I don't really like the dust covers. And it left me with this really nice book. So, let's have a little look. So, there is some colour in this one, which is quite nice. Infantry weapons, World War II. So, you've got quite a lot of pictures. Introduction, all battles and all wars are won in the end by infantrymen. Field Marshal Viscount Wavell. So you've got a few kind of stories and pictures. I do love pictures. Quite a lot of pictures there, actually. And then you get on to weapons. So tells you a lot of the history there, and about all the different weapons. Interesting book. So what I'm going to do is, at the moment, they're quite big books, but what I was thinking was, even though they're big books, I was thinking they're quite classic and vintage. So I am going to, at the moment, just for storage, because I have nowhere to put them until I decide who I'm giving them to and what we're doing. I'm going to pop them there as display because I just love the books. Yeah, they look much better without the dust covers on. I love the vintage look. Anyway, let me turn you back. So here's Miss Winnie. A lot of you say that you'd like to see more of Miss Winnie. So here she is. She can sit with me for a minute. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm just trying to create just a little bit of, you know, extra content for you, really. So if I go out somewhere, I've lived here for quite a few years now, and I have been to the galleries a couple of times. And I just thought, do you know what, why don't I film it? So you can see we're very lucky to have it in our village, actually. The cheese scone, oh my God. So, you know how I've wanted a cheese scone in Emmaus the last couple of times I've missed out. Oh, they had cheese scones. I was so happy. And I ate the whole thing. Normally I only eat half of one, but I managed to eat the whole thing. So I was very full afterwards, but so happy to have had that. A little cup of tea and just a general walk around, because it was quite a lot of talking. So the footage I'll have voiced over that you would have just seen. It's quite hard filming when you're out because people talk about lots of things, don't they? And you don't want to get their conversation in on the video. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that little video. If you did, leave in my comments. Give me some ideas of what else you'd like to see me do. Yeah, let me know whether you enjoy this kind of thing, because I will do it again if you do. So yeah, I always get back to your comments. So please do comment, because I will get back to you. Have a little chat. And yeah, until the next time, we're going to say ta-ta for now.